Hello and welcome to another Sitecore Stories. Today I'm going to be catching up with Evangelos and he's going to be telling us all about the brand kit and brand assistant in Sitecore Stream. So let's dive in. Okay, Evangelos, thanks for joining me today.
Hey Rob, glad to be here with you.
So I think, before we dive in and talk about everything stream related, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Sitecore?
Absolutely. My name is Evangelos, but whoever's listening, you call me Evan or Van, if it's a little bit easier. I'm a product manager for Stream. So I've been at Sitecore for about 4 or 5 months now. I'm based in Athens, Greece, and I'm leading basically a couple of features of the Stream product, which are new and exciting product, which is basically comprised of brand aware AI, co-pilots, and workflows. And I lead a specific co-pilot called Brand Assistant and the brand aware AI.
Yeah, nice. So I think, before we start to take a look at the product itself, can you talk a little bit about, the problems we've seen in the market? Why did we actually go and build this feature out?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great question, Rob. So maybe if I can start, let's take a little bit back, right? Like, what are the core problems of marketeers when it comes to the workflows, right? When a team of marketeers wants to create a brief, let's say, or a marketing campaign, imagine they have to go through all the previous campaigns. They have to go through all the previous assets. They have to go and ask various teams of recent trends, for example. They have to repurpose previous assets so it's a little bit more efficient. They have to brainstorm many times to align between teams what is the best strategy going forward. They have to go and ensure that what they write and the content generated is on brand and it adheres to the brand tone of voice. So there are a lot of checks that they need to do. And if you think about the latest developments of AI and especially generative AI, it's a great candidate to improve that process, to make it more efficient and to boost it, to make it even more effective, let's say. The issue in the market with generative AI solutions, like you can imagine ChatGPT from OpenAI or other kind of products like that in the globe, they are not so specific to marketeers and they haven't been created to cater to marketing needs specifically. So what I mean by that is, if you use ChatGPT, for example, yes, you can upload your documents, but every time you have to upload your documents so it's on brand. There's not a way that every single content generated is specifically on your brand and you know specifically your brand tone of voice and your brand guidelines and etc. and etc. So you can create content, but you can't create the specific content that a big enterprise and a big marketing department of an enterprise requires to do so. So there was a bit of a gap there in that sense. So that content that is on brand. The other one is that if you think about Gen AI, how it works, there are many agents. Now we've moved to this agentic part of AI, this very exciting agentic. So, every little task can be delegated to a specific agent. In the market as well, there's a lack of agents that are specifically catered to marketing. For example, an agent that takes a task like a brief, or an agent that takes a task like searching through all your documents and answering your question that is on brand, or let's say, you want to brainstorm, there's an agent that can brainstorm, but you can brainstorm specifically to cater to your brand and in alignment with your marketing needs, let's say. Those were the three, I would say, theme of gaps that are in the market right now.
Yeah, nice. And so how does what we've built kind of address those issues?
Yeah, I think that's a good question as well. So to address those gaps, what we built basically is we built two features within Stream called Brand Kits and Brand Assistant, which is a specific co-pilot, let's say. So, and those two things go together, basically. You can't have one without the other, let's say. So the Brand Kit is where marketeers, users of our companies can upload their various documents, like, for example, the brand guidelines, the brand tone of voice, the legal documents, previous campaigns. And what we do is basically we take a picture of all these pages, we store them, we chunk them through AI. So we extract all the information, all the content and information. We put a summary on it with AI, and then we store it and index it into our database. We do this so then it's retrievable by AI. So then we can take the relevant information, put into the prompt, and then we ground that information to be on brand, for example. There's a UI component of what we call the brand kits as well. So the users can edit what AI has actually extracted. And they can ensure that what AI considers is what they want. So yeah, there's a UI aspect, there's the backend aspect, let's say, but the idea is that everything that you upload, you make it retrievable by AI basically. So that is the brand kit. And the chat or the Copilot is like a chat-based interface where you can chat with your brand kit to ask specific questions around your brand for information that you've uploaded and ingested, or you can brainstorm with AI. So if you want to create a new content, a new blog post, a new image, you can do that, and then it caters, and then it goes and retrieves the right information to ensure that the content generated is specifically on brand. You can create a brief. So any questions you can think of related to your marketing process, you can do that through the chat and through that specific brand kit. Because again, a big company can have multiple brands. Each brand will have a specific brand kit, let's say.
Sounds pretty exciting. Can we see it in action?
Yes, we can. Maybe I can start with the brand kits and then we can move on to the chat, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's go and find. So basically what would happen is here, what you can see is pre-existing brand kits. So a user first time, what we do is he would create a brand kit here, test, let's say, test, fitness. He will upload a logo to create a brand kit, let's say. Then you create a brand kit. So as you can see here, we have some pre-defined sections of a brand kit. Those are sections that, from feedback by companies, they are the most used sections that a big company is interested in. Like, for example, what are the global goals? What is the brand context, the do's and don'ts, the tone of voice? And as you can see right now, they're empty. So what a user would do first time, he would go to the sources and he would upload their documents. For example, he she will upload, let's say, this document. Click confirm, and then they would press this button called process changes. I'm not gonna press it right now because it does take a little bit of a while, like 5-10 minutes to ingest all these pages. So I don't think we have the time now. So I'm gonna show what it looks like when it's ready. But a user would press this, and what it would do two things. One is, again, it would take all this information and store it, and at the same time, at the end, it would actually auto-fill all these sections automatically with AI, because each of those sections has a prompt. Let's say the digital mandatories, it has a prompt, mandatory requirements for digital content creation. So once we have all these pages stored into our database and it's retrievable by AI, you can create content like that with prompts. So it's able basically to fill all this brand kit with AI, and then when you chat with it first goes through the brand kit. If you can't find the information, then it goes through the rest of the information that is stored in the database. So maybe just to show you what that filled brand kit looks like. So let me go through the powerful. So as you can see here, a user has already uploaded a document. This document is not that long. It's about 30 pages long. So if we go to the global goals, you see some of those sections are filled right now. Brand context. And a user can click through to see which pages of the documents were used to fill that section. So they can do a cross check. They can also edit that section. They can edit it if they want to. They can delete it, and etc. So this is very important because basically we've done in a way that it always allows users to feel in control of the content and what AI considers. And they can also change the intent as well. So if they want to change the prompt every time they ingest a document, they can do so as well. So they are fully in control what the AI considers, basically. Okay, so maybe if that's okay, I can move on into the chat to see how we can use the brand kit to create content and generate ideas for marketers.
Sounds good.
All right. So I press the chat. So here I'm in the chat UI interface. So as you can see here, basically what happens is we select the brand kit. It had already pre-selected the most used one. So we've done it automatically, but a user can always select from the set of brand kits they have. So in this example, let's just choose the powerful one right here. So again, there are a couple of things a user can do. The simplest one is it can ask questions that you would want to find through your documents, but you don't want to go and go through like thousands of pages. You just want to quickly search something. For example, describing my brand tone of voice. This is a question probably that it's in the documents. I want you to tell me what the brand tone of voice. I don't want to go through all the pages. So I'm going to hit enter. There you go. Great. So it just answered what that tone of voice is. So confident, energetic, inclusive, approachable, and some follow-up questions. So what it did now, we always pass certain sections from the brand kit. So because the brand kit already has what that tone of voice is, it was able to quickly tell me what it was without showing me the sources, because it is in the brand kit. But if I ask another question that maybe it's not in the brand kit and it has to go through and search all these documents in our database, then it's going to do something different. So let's show how that looks like. Perfect. So waiting until it's loading. So what it's doing here is there are two things that are happening. It went through what we call the knowledge search, so it's where we stored all these documents, and it was able to answer me the question. So I asked, for example, who were the target users, and it was able to tell me there are basically four types: the elite athlete, the fitness enthusiast, the adventurer, the busy parent. And what it did was it showed me which pages in the document it retrieved that information from. So basically, a user can validate whether the answer is correct or wrong instead of actually searching through all these documents. And it has a link here where if a user clicks it, it goes through those specific pages. At the same time, this is like a text editor kind of user interface. So a user can edit and delete, so it can assist through that brainstorming process. So if, for example, I click back here and I click X, what it will do is do a version 2. So it saved it, and I can go through version 1 and version 2. So it's very collaborative in that sense. I can also click here, like make shorter, for example, and it's going to do again another version. There you go. So version 3, it made it a little bit shorter. At the same time, what it did was, so as I said before, if you remember, we built agents specifically for marketeers, right? So this is our search agent. So if you ask a query and AI figures that you have to go through the knowledge search and search through the documents, it evokes what we call the search agent, and then it answers that. But we also have other agents, which I'm going to show in a bit, like the brief, for example. But we also have the summarizer agent. So whenever multiple agents are invoked and an artifact is created, an artifact is this component here that you can edit, for example, the summarizer agent will always be invoked, and he will give an answer in the chat that summarizes everything. I mean, this question was pretty simple, so the answer here will be similar to what we saw in the artifact. So it just repeated basically what it found. But for more complex questions that I will show in a bit that require multiple questions within one prompt, you want a summarizer that takes everything, information from web search, knowledge search, and just gives you the answer. So maybe I can show you exactly what that looks like right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a more complex question, basically, that what it will do is it will invoke multiple agents, and then it will do a summary of that to answer my question. For example, let's ask AI, tell me my top 5 competitors and tell me how I can improve my products to match them, right? So what it will ideally do right now is first going to go through the knowledge search, try to find the relevant information that we talk about competitors to show me who my competitors are. And then what it will do, it will summarize me ideas that I can improve to match those qualities of those competitors. Perfect. Yeah, so exactly that. So what it did, it told me who those competitors are based on my documents. And at the same time, what it did was it told me strategies to improve my products. For example, expand flavor variety, increase product range, enhance ingredient transparency. And every time it referenced a competitor that has those attributes, let's say. So this is a little bit what we call more brainstorming type questions. Let's maybe show one final question about another agent that we call brief. So if I ask a question to create a brief, it will be able to create a specific brief. So it's a structured output on specific sections that, given customer feedback, we know are the most important for customers. So if I ask a question around brief, we'll be able to create that. But maybe let's make it a bit more complex. We can ask 2 things and a brief. So let's ask, like, search the web for similar products to Powerful, and then create a brief for Powerful, let's say Powerful, and press enter. Let's see what happens. So again, in this type of question, we would expect multiple agents to be invoked, the web search agent and the brief agent to be able to create the answer. So yeah, as we can see first here, it did the web search. So it went and basically found the most relevant information from the web. So who have similar brands like And also what we have here is from the web search. We have sources. So a user can click of them, like, brand value, 100 most powerful brands, and etc. So it always shows which sources you used to get that information from. And then what it did here is it created a brief. So the brief has a structured output, campaign goals, and audiences. So for example, for brief for powerful, what it did was it told me, oh, the campaign goal is to increase awareness, and we're targeting three set of users: the fitness enthusiasts, beginning athletes, and active lifestyle seekers. And those are from the documents as well. It's just that it's a more structured output. Yeah, that's it from my end. Maybe as a last point, I can add that users can always go through the previous chats here, delete a chat, and go through the history of the chat.
That's awesome. It's so powerful. I think it's going to make marketers' lives really easy. I guess the final question, if anyone has any questions, they want to learn more about Brand Assistant, Brand Kit, want to get hold of you, what's the best way to get hold of you?
That's a good question. So my email is Evangelos, so EVANGELOS .Kourtidis, KOURTIDIS @sitecore.com. Please hit me up if you guys have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Awesome. Thanks for joining me today, Evangelos. Hopefully we get to speak again soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.